All right, today's video is not going to be something that you're going to sit back and watch a conversation. I'm just going to give you my insights. I am a nobody. You should not listen to me. I do not give financial advice, but I know enough to be dangerous in certain things. Finance, pretty damn good at. I know how to analyze intel. I know how to look at things, analyze it, analyze the words they're using, analyze what they're trying to say, and really understand the gist of it. Now, that's because my military intel background. So, is Donald Trump crashing the market on purpose? And I'm sorry, I'm doing this while driving, but I really just don't have any time. So I hope you just put the phone down and listen. Just have a conversation. And I want you to listen to the facts here because there's a lot of emotions going on right now, a lot of fear. It's in the market, it's in the people. You see it in the protests. You see it in people are just withdrawing all their money out of banks. Look, calm down for 1 second. Hear me out. Let's talk about the facts. And then I'm going to give you my insight into what I believe is actually happening. You could take it or leave it. Does not matter to me. The issue I have is that people will put more effort into complaining, into protesting, into just throwing fear out there than they will do into making their lives better and making sure that their family lives are better, making sure their financial lives are better. They'll put more effort into the negative than they will to the positive. I have a problem with that, and I hope this kind of distills some of that. Now, what I believe is happening from what I've heard, and I'll give you some insight into it, Donald Trump is doing one of two things. Number one, what he said he's trying to do is bring manufacturing back to America. Will this fix that? Will these tariffs, reciprocal tariffs, fix that? We've seen history where it didn't. That history is not current history because we didn't have a worldwide organizations that had corporations operating in different countries on different islands where they can stash their their taxes away, tax-free, their revenues away, tax-free. We live in a different world now. But I think that is likely going to happen based on the fact that he didn't come out with a flat out 10% across the board or even reciprocal tariffs. He came at them hard, like overly hard, where it scared a lot of Republicans into coming out and saying, whoa, this is too much. Whoa, we went too far. President shouldn't be doing this. Now, from the political side, I agree with maybe this might be a little bit too far. Maybe Donald Trump is exerting too much power and not utilizing Congress like at all. At all. He's not going through Congress for like anything. And I do have a problem with that coming from a very moderate point of view of we need checks and balances. The other side of this is how else are we going to bring manufacturing back to America? A lot of people would say it's just not coming back. Well, then a lot of people would have a problem with that because there's a lot of jobs to be had. A lot of jobs were lost to other countries because of this fair trade that we have. The fair trade that led to a trade deficit where we are consuming a lot more than we are producing. That's the facts. Those are the facts. We're consuming. We're consumers. That's what we do. We buy $10, $15 shirts, pants, whatever from Shein. Girls, you can buy stuff for like $5. It's insane. Cell phones. I mean, like every baby has a tablet or cell phone nowadays. Like, should we live in a world where every single child in America should have a touchscreen tablet or phone, a flat screen TV on their bedroom wall? You should be able to buy brand new clothes every season. Like, should we be able to live in that world? Yeah, probably. But should it be so freaking cheap where we're using slave labor? That's the Democrat in me. We know that it's slave labor that's bringing these low cost items to America. We know that. We know that this hybrid that I'm driving right now has a battery that was mined literally by hand by slaves. I know that. I purchased it anyways because they gave me a great deal. The government, actually you, the taxpayer, gave me a great deal on this vehicle that I'm driving. I took advantage of it. That's what people do, is we take advantage for our own benefits. We're selfish people. That's just how it is. Should we live in that world? Are we okay living in that world? And as a Democrat, and what we used to believe in is, number one, no, we should not be okay with slave labor. Number two, no, things shouldn't be that cheap, because that means that we'll promulgate this slave labor. Number three, tax the rich. That's what we believed in. Tax the rich. What are tariffs? Tariffs are a tax. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. But then somehow Democrats all of a sudden figured out, well, it's just going to be, imposed on a consumer. Yeah, that's what taxes do. When corporations get taxed more, like they've been trying to do for however long, the increase in price is due to that. So when you see an increase in price in eggs, flour, whatever it is, you see that, think to yourself, costs likely went up. Tariffs increase costs. Corporations are going to impose those costs onto you, the consumer. How do you beat that? There's only one of two ways. One, make more money so that it doesn't matter. Two, stop buying stuff. That's the gist of that right there. All right. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you do like it, make some more money so you can afford it. I mean, it's back to the okay and. Like I say it all the time. Okay, and? So what are you going to do about it? You have every right to not shop. You have every right to not buy stuff from slave labor. You have every right to be able to make more money to afford all the stuff that you want. Now, the other side, what I've been seeing and hearing, because again, I dive deep into this stuff, probably way further than I need to anymore, but it kind of triggers that Intel mind of mine where I really want to analyze everything and get to the nitty gritty. Treasury Secretary Bissett, I'm pretty sure. He's been making his rounds. A lot of people have not been paying attention to what he's saying, though. If you look, or if you listen to what he's saying, what happens if you understand stock markets and finances? What happens when stock prices are going crazy, when there's fear in the market, when people are afraid of what's going on? Look back and at every drop in the market, see where people put their money. They go into government bonds. What does that mean? That's just nerd talk for most people. What does that actually mean? When more investment is pushed into bonds, the yields have to come down. The rates have to come down. Donald Trump has told the Federal Reserve to drop the freaking rates. Donald Trump has no power over the Federal Reserve. We have no power over the Federal Reserve. The Congress has no power over Federal Reserve except to maybe just eliminate it. That'd be cool. But he can't tell them to lower the rates. What he can do is make the stock market so shitty to invest in that people will rush to bonds and rates will come down. Why do we care? Why do we care about these bond rates, yada, yada? Because the government is in incredible debt, an exorbitant amount of debt. And we need to refinance that debt. Just like you would as a normal human being. If you had too much debt in your family household, you might take out a home equity line of credit to consolidate the debt. You might take out a 0% credit card with a transfer offer to consolidate the debt, to lower the payments. It's the exact same thing. The government works the exact same thing. It's the exact same way. You can sit there and believe that all we have to do is print more money, but that just means inflation. So Donald Trump could be purposefully crashing the market to push people into bonds, to force the Federal Reserve into lowering the rates. That way we can refinance our debt in America as a corporation, because that's what we are, as a corporation, the United States of America, refinance the debt, make, have lower payments, have lower debt overall. Now, you might hear that and say, what kind of man would crash it on purpose to force the hand? Look at it from a business perspective, a businessman perspective solely. Do you care about the one employee that you might have to fire in order to cover some increase in costs, or in order to decrease your costs, so that you can have more net income to pay your bills. You don't care about the one employee. The CEO does not care about that one employee. Let's be very honest here. And with a corporation of the United States of America, we have 60 million people. 10% of the the top 10% of the American public owns 88% of all U.S. stocks, of the entire stock market. The top 10% own 88% of the U.S. of the entire stock market. So Donald Trump is actually sticking a middle finger up to the top 10% in this country, saying, look, I get it. I'm sorry, your 401k is kind of crashing here, but we got a country to save for the next generation or the generation after that. And look, I'm not propping, I don't like to prop anyone up on a pedestal. I'm certainly not going to prop Donald Trump on a pedestal, President Trump. But what I am going to do is be factual about this and say he is the CEO of this corporation. Does he care about 32 million people losing half of their 401k, maybe? Really, it's 25% of their 401k, so that the next generation can afford a home, can afford to live, and not, have their 30-year-old son, 40-year-old son living in their basement because he can't afford a home or to even pay rent? I'm not saying that's what's actually happening. What I'm saying is, look at the facts. Do you think Donald Trump cares? No, I don't think he would care. And I wouldn't blame him for not caring. Of course, he's going to come on TV saying, I really care about you. This is a dinner side table chat, or, whatever political stuff that they want to come out with. But the fact of the matter is, our country is in a lot of trouble. And Democrats have been running on this for a very long time and doing absolutely nothing about it. Not since Clinton. Bill Clinton was the last one, and he actually, he kicked ass. That's what he did. But this is a complete overhaul of our country. And again, I have no idea if it's going to work. I have no idea if I support it. What I do support is trying something. And if this does work, this is literally like Mount Rushmore placement for a president. Like you deserve to have your freaking bust, your face up on Mount Rushmore. If Donald Trump can pull this off, bring manufacturing back to America, refinance our debt, bring jobs back to us, increase our wealth, get rid of the income tax. This is the only way to get rid of income tax. Forgot that part. This is the only way to get rid of income tax. There is no other way. And that's where you can ask any other Democrat, what's a better alternative? What's a better alternative? Okay, let's not do tariffs then. What's better? Well, we should do it better. Well, you didn't though. But you didn't. And you haven't. This guy's coming into office literally within 100 days. He has not been in 100 days. It feels like he's been in for freaking a year by now with everything that's happening. But within the first 100 days, you can get mad at me for saying this, but it's the truth. He's doing exactly what he campaigned on. He's doing exactly what he campaigned on. Everything he's literally doing right now. In the first 100 days. And he is not caring who's getting in the way. He does not care about the courts. That's where I have an issue, because if it is illegal, if it is, stomping on the Constitution, I do have a problem with that. That should be the crying call for the Democrats. Not this, Nazi Elon Musk nonsense, not the, take your hands off our Constitution nonsense, not this, they're taking away our Medicare and Social Security nonsense. You guys are tired. You're tired. You're worse than mid, as the kids would say. You're tired. Like that's so whack. I don't know a better word to put it. Be better. Be better at protesting. What are you protesting? I can see if you say, look, Donald Trump, let's try your way, but let's do it in the way that is actually the right way to do it. Let's get Congress approval to raise tariffs on other countries. I'm sure Donald Trump will say, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. He said he'll act like a dictator, right? You said it. I mean, this is pretty close to acting like a dictator. But in my mind, from what I've seen, what I've heard, how I see how he acts for many decades, because, I mean, you can go back. I had a Rochester Business Journal. I was one of the business spotlights many years ago, 2009, 2010. And they asked me about a book that, impacts me. And it was a Donald Trump book, Art of the Deal. Someone actually went through my past and came back at me and said, I can't believe your favorite book, blah, blah. I said, my favorite book. Anyways, Art of the Deal. Go read it. Go read it. You'll see exactly who this guy is. He does not care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you, the individual. He cares about the corporation. And I don't blame him. I'm not saying I would do what he is doing. What I'm saying is I can see why he's doing it. I can see why he would want to refinance the debt in America. I would see why he'd want to bring manufacturing back to America. So what happens with the stock market? Here's my beliefs. My belief is this little rally we've had for past 24 hours, it's going to be short-lived. We're going to flatten out, or we might even go down a little bit further. Again, I am not a financial analyst. I'm just some jabroni that knows how to analyze intel and data. We're not going to recover from this 25% decrease in months. If that happens, it'll be a faster recovery than COVID. And again, that was Donald Trump. Just giving credit where credit's due. If you can recover from a 25% drop in the stock market in less than 3 months, that's insane. So I believe most times when it's a recession, we recover in about 11 months. If we are bringing back manufacturing into America, it's not going to happen in 6 months. It's just not going to happen in 6 months. You have to negotiate leases. You got to buy property. You got to outfit that property so that you can manufacture. We got tons of property available. Tons of property available. So that's not the problem. It's getting that whole thing ramped up. Just like we did in World War II. Just like we did during COVID. Getting it ramped up. Bringing manufacturing back to America to where they are taking back all these empty buildings that we've seen empty for so long, especially here in Rochester, retooling the equipment or buying equipment and getting it delivered, installed, and ramping up manufacturing. It's going to take a while. So if we see any improvement in the stock market, in my opinion, if it's based on the numbers, legitimate numbers, it should take some time. What should you do in the meantime? Average cost. That's I'm not a financial advisor. I'm doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to average it out. If I invest, money every single week, 2 weeks, month, in the end, hopefully I bought it at the right timing. Don't try and time the market. Don't try and time the market. It ain't going to happen. Just now is a great time. Now is a great time to buy stocks at a discount. Invest at a discount. Invest. Don't listen to these Bitcoin social media people, all right? I'm not a Bitcoin person. I would never tell you to invest in Bitcoin. I don't believe in it. I don't understand how you can invest in something that let's say China destroys our, grid, or, hacks our grid, and you can't access the Bitcoin. Also, we've seen that hackers can access Bitcoin. Like, I don't see how that's something I would want to invest in. And it's based on no tangible asset. Anyways, when you invest in the stock market, you're investing in a company that you truly believe in. Invest in the long haul. You pay less taxes that way as well. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. Just tell you what I'm going to do. You do what you want to do. Give you some insight into what I think is happening. If it works, if Donald Trump is able to do what he said he's going to do, his Treasury Secretary said he's going to do, his Vice President said he's going to do, we will be living in a whole different America in the next 3 years. And for him to come out and talk about a third term and looking at how they can do a third term, one, scary. Two, means that he truly believes that he's going to bring manufacturing back to America. He's going to refinance our debt, and he's going to make us richer by getting rid of the income tax. That's the only thing I can think of that would allow him the opportunity to even bring up a third term. Because in my mind, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it. That's so un-American. But if you're able to do what you say you're about to do, and you're able to change the dynamics of America and not bring about the New World Order, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think about a third term if he's able to do that? You see it outside? It is freaking a snow blizzard right now. But that's my time here. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Also, I want to pay more attention, but I can think better when I'm actually active. I get up and walk when I'm on the phone. When I'm talking to clients, I like to just pace. It's really weird, but it's what I do. Hopefully you got some benefit out of this, or ease some of the concerns, or you can actually see what is possibly happening in America from my viewpoint, at least. You make up your own mind. You do your own research, but don't sit there and look at the doom and gloom, media. Stop paying attention to them. They're liars. They want you so fearful that you tune in at 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 10 p.m. As soon as you wake up in the morning, they want you tuning in. So they're going to sell you doom and gloom. And if you look in the past, look at COVID, you saw more and more multi-millionaires and billionaires come out on top simply because they invested when everyone else was running away. So I hope you're able to. If not, I hope you find a way to increase your cash flow, your revenues, your income. Find a way, because you keep hearing this once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't see how it's not 25% discount on some of the top brands. If you saw a 25% discount on Nike, you'd go and freaking shop, all right? Sneakers, I mean. You go shopping. So 25% discount on Nike, the corporation. 25% discount on Apple, Google. I'm not telling you who to invest in, but there's some heavy hitters out there that have a pretty big moat around them, like Warren Buffett would say, that they're going to be okay after all this. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. So you do what you want with that information. I'm going to do what I believe is right for me and my family. I hope that you're one of the people who become millionaires after this, who's learned from the past and is able to make a better future for yourselves utilizing this. I hate to capitalize on negative news, but somebody's going to. And I hope that I hope you're able to. Have a blessed day. See ya.